pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the NFC champions, the Dallas Cowboys. The hype and the talk is over. We're set for the big one. Super Bowl 57. Away we go from Arizona. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Prescott looks to throw right away. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And that one into the hands of Brown downfield. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's a gain of 34.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. But they got a great answer right there and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one. I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. To throw is Prescott. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing, Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, Prescott goes off, and on comes the Cowboy kicker, Brett Maher, for the field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. The kick by Maher is good. 3 points, probably not going to win this Super Bowl, but at least you get something on the opening drive.
And it's certainly not going to lose it. So the bottom line is, come away with the points now, come back and get greedy later, and try and put it in the end zone.
Take it in at the 3. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
We spent so much time talking about the physical side of the game. How about the mental side? They just gave up a field goal, but they didn't get down at all. Big-time return. They're set up to try and at least tie the game up.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 40. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. Taken down at the 42.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second down at 4. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On second down, a run with Dobbins. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and a step.
And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the C's opened up for him. Justin Tucker for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
To about the 40-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Second down, here's Chubb again. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping the second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a 10-yard gain there to set them up 1st and goal. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Second down and goal. Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dallas got it. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have regained the lead. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 1 quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57. 10-7 our score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Now Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
It's not easy playing the corner, is it? A lot of times you got to defend against the pass, but sometimes you have to play against the run. How about the job he did there, crashing inside to make that tackle for a loss?
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. A pivot and a give to Henry. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Myles Garrett in there to drop it for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Tucker's kick is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Fields it right around the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Play action. Prescott. Buying time to his left. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Well, the best don't mind making tough throws, but that was a real difficult one right there. Out of the pocket, trying to beat double coverage. More times than not, that's going to end up as an incomplete pass, if not worse.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
We'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice game.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 44 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And again, it's Chubb. And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. 1st down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Two minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. It was Justin Houston who got him down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
3rd and short yardage. Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get in the field goal range. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop him with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Jackson. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson to throw. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 23. From the gun, Jackson. Touchdown! Mark Andrews in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you get a brand-new ball game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. 17-17 the score, all even to this point as the kick's away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. Chubb on first down, no room to roam as he struggles just to get back to the line of scrimmage. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And through one half at least, this Super Bowl has been everything it was cracked up to be. All tied. What's your key for them, Charles, in the second half?
Simplicity, partner, because in the Super Bowl, with the extra time at halftime, I think some staffs get caught up in trying to design too many things. It's all tied up. They have to remember what they did to get here, put that back into play here in the second half, and I think they'll be all right.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 81 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes it's a beauty.
George Karlaftis, the man to bring him down. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. An option handoff here to Dobbins. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
That's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Tackled by Isaiah Simmons.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Another run here with Dobbins. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the 3rd quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, worthy adjustments from halftime.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 2nd touchdown in the Super Bowl. And the Ravens have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Tucker with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game was all square at halftime, and now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Off the play fake, Prescott. Got him in, it's Brown. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Chubb will get the call running left. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Prescott now. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 19. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Yeah, the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as he's inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line. They'll run with Chubb. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. them to a short gain.
On second and goal, Prescott, and that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his second touchdown in this Super Bowl. And the Cowboys have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the third. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that will tie us at 24. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line. Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. We'll return with more after this break. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football. And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense. No big surprise, Micah Parsons doing what he does so well, dropping it for a loss.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Ravens on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Jackson now. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And all the way in for the Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman, 63 yards. And the Ravens answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Yeah, we're at the time of this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Tackle made there by Josh Bynes.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. What a moment for him, a pick six in the Super Bowl. You think about some of the big pick sixes over the history of this huge game. I remember, because I was watching with a lot of Colts fans, Tracy Porter picking Peyton Manning to get the Saints' first title.
Yeah, that one pretty much sealed the deal for New Orleans as well. But I got to go back a ways because, you know, unfortunately, I'm considerably older. Herb Adderley, the Green Bay Packers, got it all started. The first pick six, Super Bowl II against the Oakland Raiders, and some of the better ones that were out there. You might remember Dwight Smith at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 2 in one game when they won their Super Bowl championship against Rich Gannon in Oakland. You mentioned Tracy Porter already. How about James Harrison and the Steelers? You remember that one? 100 yards right before the half ended. That was a big-time play. But for me, the absolute classic, Willie Brown in slow motion against the Vikings for the Raiders. The grand old man, Willie Brown, 75 yards.
You recall him on. What a play here. Another pick six in the Super Bowl. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 43 yards on the ground for him so far. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Henry again on 2nd down. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Derrick Henry taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Ravens are feeling good as they extend their lead in the Super Bowl. Tucker with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's going to be caught downfield by Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Prescott off play action. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, 52 yards. And the Cowboys have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
You got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late. But they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they have been the better of the two sides to this point with a 2-score lead, fourth quarter of this Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy within reach as they start this drive 1st and 10. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time. And that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They keep it with Henry on first down. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll go with the option, coming right. And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact. He got 29 yards that time. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. And he's got room. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field, they can't slow them down,